Hi everyone, welcome to Create Pretty Things. My name is Debbie. Tonight we're going to get started with some home decor for fall. If you've never been here before, please jump on and say hello, hit the heart button. And if you don't see the live button up in the top corner, please type in #replay so that I know that you watched. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Tonight we are going to work with this transfer here. It has 4 different pieces to it. One says Halloween. One says wintry vibes, hello fall, and welcome. We are only going to use the hello fall, and we're just going to use a little piece of it. So we are going to get started by painting the surface that I would like to use, which I don't know where it is. Yes, I do. Okay, so what I have here is just a little package of wood planks from Dollar Tree. I have one out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it the eucalyptus color. So I've got my chalk paste out, and you can paint with the eucalyptus. I want to show you guys this. This is the rest of the stuff that we're going to use tonight. We have a lot of these beautiful, beautiful florals from Walmart. I love these colors. I love the eucalyptus and the blue greens. I think it's very pretty. So we have 3 of those, and we have a tobacco basket. So that's what we're going to use as our surface tonight. And what I'm going to do now is going to paint with my eucalyptus. Now, when you paint, you usually want to thin it out just a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of my eucalyptus into one of these color trays. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to add some water to it just to thin it out so that it's like a watercolor. It'll make it easier to spread and paint with. I'm going to mix it up to get that water evenly distributed. And then I'm just going to start painting on my surface. So easy, guys, so easy. The reason I like to paint with chalk paste is because it applies an even coverage, but it also dries really, really quickly. And when I'm crafting live with you guys, don't want to waste your time by making you watch paint dry. So even though we may dry it a little bit, I'm hoping to reduce that dry time for you guys so that we can get to the fun parts of this stuff. This is going to be a quick, easy craft tonight. And that's one thing I love about using this product is that it is very quick and easy most of the time. Sometimes you can get more elaborate projects, but this one is basically just going to be pasting the words hello fall onto this little piece of wood. Okay, here it is. Let's have a little thread through it. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to set aside my paste and my paintbrush. I'm going to set this aside to dry. And we're going to be moving on to assembling our tobacco basket. Okay, and I thought that I had my glue gun on, but my battery is dead. So let's go ahead and change this out. Turn it on. So this is what I have. I have a floral block, and my idea for this is just to put it behind the wood plank to make it stand out a little bit. And then I have 3 of these, and they're identical. And then I have my tobacco basket. Now, I like this natural color for this project, but you could paint it if you wanted to. You can make it darker, but I'm going to leave it. So I'm just going to go ahead and position my florals. And basically, this is how I'm going to lay them out. So I'm going to glue some when it heats up, but I also have these zip ties. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and zip tie those in to start. And then I'll glue them later. My gun is a little bit warmer. And I'm hoping that my sign will cover these zip ties. So I've got 3 of these white ones, I thought. Zip ties are really great to use when you're crafting. They hold things in place for you. They're easy to use. As long as you know which side is up and which side is down, and you just practice with it. There's two. My third one. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut off the long part of this one so that it lays better in here. So I've got my wire cutters, and I'm not that strong, guys, to do this, but I'm going to give it a try. And these are new sharp wire cutters, but it does take some effort. There we go. I got it bending a little bit and cracking. And I could have just folded that behind, I guess, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to zip tie this one on as well. Another zip tie out. I think I'll try to hide this one up at the top, behind the floral, because I don't think my block is going to cover this one. So I'm going to hide it as best I can. And I haven't tightened these completely. I want to be able to glue them a little bit, so that's why I didn't tighten them. And I may not even need the glue. Actually, I don't think I need the glue, guys. I think I can go without. So let me just move this down a little bit and tighten this one up. Okay, they're tight. Look at that. They don't even move. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the back pieces of my zip ties. Okay. The next part is going to be, let's go ahead and chalk on our sign. Let me go ahead and dry this just a little bit with our heat tool gun. You want to make sure it's dry before you apply any paste or the sticky transfer. How are you guys doing tonight? It's Friday night. You guys made it through another work week. It's another weekend around the corner. What are you guys going to do this weekend? It should be nice. It's been windy here, but it subsided today. So I'm hoping that it'll be a nice weekend. I haven't checked the weather reports. Okay, so before we put our sticky transfer on, we're going to go ahead and use some surface wax on this. This is the surface wax. You can use any brand that you have. And the purpose of this is to protect both your surface and your transfer from the sticky transfer. So the transfers are sticky to allow you to move and hold your transfers in place. And it's a very good thing. But on freshly painted surfaces, it can pull up that paint layer underneath, which will give you a chippy look. Or it could also, if your transfer sticks too hard, it could stretch out your transfer. Okay, so I'm going to take this transfer. They are silk screen. The paste goes right through the silk screen onto your transfer. I'm going to fuzz it once on my shirt. You can fuzz on a towel, a fuzz cloth, anything you have. And all I want is the Hello Fall. Hello Fall. And I'm going to chalk that in black. You know, I could chalk the surrounding area. I think that would add to it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I've got my black velvet paste. And I've got a squeegee somewhere. So it just takes a little bit of paste. Your paste should be the consistency of frosting or sour cream. Just take a little bit. This is too much, but I'll show you what we'll do in a minute. And then you're just gonna, it's a beveled edge. You're just gonna take it and rub it over the surface where the silk screen is and apply it to your surface. So just rub it on, get those edges. Get good coverage. And you do want to peel this off while the paste is still wet on the surface so that you don't get any bleeding or so that it stays down on the surface below and doesn't come up with your transfer. I'm working on the edges, guys. It's something that I often neglect, and so I'm really trying to focus on edges. You're going to take off any excess paste that you have, scoop it back into your jar, and I do kind of try to even out the lines that this creates. Okay, I'm going to put it back in my paste jar. I'm going to put this in my water bath so it can start soaking and cleaning. And then I'm going to pull this up slowly. I'm going to pull it off the surface slowly, and I'm going to look at it as I go. If there's any areas that need to be repasted, I can put down the transfer before I completely peel it off. Looks good. And redo it. But it looks good. So I want to clean this right away. The black is highly pigmented, so it may stain your transfer, and that's okay as long as you get that paste out of the silk screen areas. So first of all, I'm going to get a paper towel, and I'm going to clean as much as I can off the surface. Now that's not quite clean enough, but I've got what's called my board eraser, and it's like a magic eraser sponge. No chemicals though. That helps the transfer. Did I tell you guys that these transfers are reusable between 8 and 12 times? As long as you clean them correctly, which is just with water. Okay, I'm rinsing out my board eraser. You can see that some of my paste has gone through to my surface below. I am going to flip this over to the sticky side up. Now, you don't want to go real hard on the sticky side. That's the adhesive, and that's what makes these reusable between 8 and 12 times. So you want to rub over it, rub a couple different directions so that you get all the paste that may be hiding in the corners out. Oops, I just added more black that I shouldn't have. Probably got it on that squeegee that I had soaking. Okay, so I've got that pretty good. I'm going to go over the front again, and then I'm going to get a paper towel. I'm going to wipe over the surface, and then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to go over the back. When the back is wet, when the sticky is wet, your paper towel will not stick to it, but the sticky will come back. And then once it's dry, I can reapply it on my backer sheet. This is going to keep it in perfect shape for next time. Now see, you're going to lay it down and make sure it's got a good connection to the backer. See how my Hello Fall, you can see the green part is kind of stained with the black. That's okay as long as all my silk screen is white and you can see through it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it back on here, smooth it down, and I'll put it back in its clear bag that it comes in, and I'll be good for next time. Okay, so we've got our Hello Fall. I'm going to go ahead and dry it a little bit. It does look a little crooked, guys. Look at that. That's okay. I don't know how I did that, but I did. I'm just going to dry it so that I don't mess it up. Now here's what I was going to do. I want to place it right in the middle, but I want it to be raised up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this styrofoam block behind it. It is too high though, so I'm going to use some scissors just to kind of slice it down. And this stuff is not my favorite stuff to work with, guys. I don't like the feel of the dirt and the grit. But it works. There's a purpose to it. It's a little messy. I'm going to go ahead and clean this a little bit. Because I don't like that gritty feel. Do you guys like that gritty feel? Do you guys have a solution for that? Yo, okay. So now we have our block. Let's see if it's gonna work better. Still a little high. Still a little high, guys. I might want to bring it down a little bit more. You know, I wonder if I could do this. Yes, much easier. Probably less mess. Yeah. That's better, guys. You learn something new every day. Ugh. Just don't like that feel. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I keep dropping everything, guys. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I could zip tie it, but I think it's going to be a lot better if I glue it. There we go. And I'm going to hold it down for a while till it dries. I don't want it to come off. And then we're going to glue our other piece on top, and then we're going to create a pretty bow, guys. Bows, I love bows. I love ribbons. Okay, let's see how this hot glue does on this styrofoam. I think it's doing okay. It's not quite melting it. Try and center this. I'm gonna hold the whole thing down just to make sure it's stuck. You know, sometimes they use two different glues on stuff like this. They'll use a E6000 and the hot glue. So that's a solution for you. I don't like the smell of the E6000 though, it bothers me. Bothers me a little bit. I'm gonna turn off my glue gun and move this aside. I want to add some weight to this, so I'm going to go ahead and put it over here and add my battery pack to it just to keep it down. Okay, so let's make a bow. So what I have is 3 different colors of ribbon. I'm not sure if we need them all, but I really liked the orange and the teal in this one. I thought it would bring it all together. I like the orange because this orange goes with the other orange, but it also brings a little fall color to it. But I think this color goes really well. So, you know, I think we're gonna skip this orange. I think it's gonna look cleaner and be better without the orange. So, I've got my Easy Bow Maker. And I'm gonna go ahead and make, I don't know, a 4-inch bow maybe? And I'm gonna do them both at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my ribbon through these 2 stakes, and I'm gonna make my tails probably about 7 inches, okay? And then I'm gonna go out 4 inches, and I'm gonna go ahead and make my, oh, you know what, before I get started, I wanna put down a zip tie. So a 7-inch, I'm gonna go 4 inches out. I'm gonna take this is gonna be my bow, place it between these 2 sticks, make sure it's about 4, and I'm gonna twist it in between these sticks because, you guys know why? Why would I twist it? Because it's a one-sided ribbon. The one ribbon is one-sided. So you always want your pretty side out. So I'm gonna go to 4 inches, which is right here. Bring it down. Make sure it's 4 inches. Twist it in the middle. And let's go through again. Now your ribbon over here is going to get a little twisted, but that's okay on the rolls, on a spool. If you guys want to know the supplies that I'm using tonight, go ahead and type in the keyword of hello. Hello will get you the supplies I'm using tonight. And you guys, there is a mix and match paste sale. So if you want to, I put in 2 paste packets in there. I put in a black and a eucalyptus. But if there's other paste that you need, you can take advantage of the paste sale, which is buy 5, get 1 free. So you can definitely add more to your cart if you want to. You can also change that cart any way you want to. You can remove things if you already have board erasers, which I put in there. You can remove those. If you want to add different things, you can. While you're paying for shipping, you might as well add what you can in there. At least that's the way I think. Okay, 4 inches there. Okay, so now I'm going to end it there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off at 7 inches for the tail. Okay. And I am going to dovetail those ends. But what I want to do now is I'm going to get my zip tie. Actually, it's the wrong way under here. Try and turn it. And I'm just going to go ahead and lift this up a little bit and try to secure it. And I want to move that button or the centerpiece to the back, okay, to be on the underside of this bow. So before you tighten it all the way, go ahead and move it to the back. We're going to cut off this end. And I am going to go ahead and dovetail my ends. These scissors aren't the best, but so to dovetail, you fold your ribbon in half so the selvage end, the finished edges are on the bottom. Cut from the corner up towards the center into a V. So when you open it, this is what it's going to look like. So fold it in half so that the finished edges are together. Put your finished edges on the bottom, cut up towards the center. Okay, 2 more to go. Fold, finished edge on bottom, and cut. 1 more, finished edge on the bottom, folded, cut up. Okay, throw away all your little bits and pieces. Put your scissors away. Okay, let's flip out this bow. So these are my tails right here. So I'm going to bring those down. Let's see which is the front. This is the front. I'm going to bring my tails down and make them pretty. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and separate these. Now I could have done more loops. I could have done 3 loops on each side. Instead, I only did 2. And I don't know if you want to, yeah, I think so. Keep the cream color on the top on both sides. Just kind of separate these and move them. And then do the same thing with this last bow, this last loop, and just kind of pull them apart. Separate them a little bit. So I think that's a pretty nice bow. So now I just went ahead and turned my glue gun back on. And I am going to glue it right up at the top, right here, centering it. Hold it down a little bit. And decide where you want your tails to go. I don't think you want them covering everything up. So maybe off to the side and down to the side. Make sure all your florals are visible. And my bow is not stuck yet. And like I said, you can always zip tie this on there too. But this is our finished project for tonight. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Look at the colors. Don't you love it? Give it a heart if you love it, and feel free to share this video with people that you know would love it. I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.